Classification of data. After collecting data, you have to classify that data. Now, how you can classify that particular data? You have to classify in some homogeneous classes or homogeneous subclasses. Now, what is homogeneous class here? The class or the group, you have to make groups which have some common characteristics or which have some common attribute, common feature. Okay, like that you have to make. Now, class can be make on the basis of some common characteristics. As I said, one example we will take after having look at this requisites of good classification. Classification should be exhaustive, unambiguous. It should not. There should not be any confusion in that. Then it should be mutually exclusive. Means one something is there which is falling in this class also and that class also. That should not happen. Okay, so after that it should be stable, flexible, all simple things are given over here. You can go through that. So classification is nothing but making dividing your class, arrange your data in different classes, different groups. Okay, now why we have to classify? Because uh, we want to compare the data. We want to have the data so that we can have establish a relationship between several characteristics. That's why we have to. Now, as I said, that we'll see how we can classify. There are some types of classification of data: quantitative classification, temporal classification, spatial classification, and qualitative classification. Now, we'll see quantitative classification. When your classification is based on some quantitative measurements like height, weight, number of marks, that is called as quantitative classification. So, suppose you have collected data about students and their marks and their weight. Okay, so what you can do, you can have classification on the basis of number of marks. You can classify those students on the basis of their marks and on the basis of their height or weight, whatever data you have collected. Okay, temporal classification means when you are classifying the data on the basis of time. Okay, nowadays we have seen on television that they classify the data about the COVID infected people on the basis of time. Like it can be weekly, it can be daily. How many people are suffering, how many cases are coming daily. So you can do this monthly, daily. So that classification is temporal classification. Okay, spatial or geographical classification means area wise or location wise, like how many COVID affected people are in Maharashtra, in Delhi. So that is state wise, or in Maharashtra you can have district wise. Okay, so that is geographical classification. Then qualitative classification, here some attributes are there which we cannot express in numbers, like honesty, dishonesty, these kind of things. So these are the qualitative attributes, qualitative things. So what happened for that, when you're classifying your data on the basis of qualitative attributes, that time it's called as qualitative classification. Like classification based on religion, okay, classification based on married or single and all. Okay, now classification of this nature is of two types. Okay, classification of this nature is of two types: simple classification or twofold classification. Simple classification or twofold classification means the whole population you can divide into male and female. Your whole class you can divide into male and female. Okay, so if your data is having only male members or female members, only one member, then it is called as single attribute. Then it is called as one way classification. This is single attribute, that's why it is called as one way classification. When there are two attributes, then it is called as twofold classification or simple classification. Manifold classification means more than one attributes are there. That time you can say that you are dividing your data into many groups. That is manifold classification. Okay, then modes of presentation of data. How you can present data? After classifying data, you have to present that data. And how you can present that data? In a textual presentation, tabular presentation, or diagrammatic presentation. When you are doing textual presentation, it means you are presenting into paragraphs and sub paragraphs. The official report of inquiry commission comes in paragraph. Or suppose you want to give information about the result of your class, then you will write, instead of 1995, here you will write in 2020 how many students were there in your class, and how many got first class, second class, how many were girls, boys, like that. But you know what happened if this textual presentation, it is very simple. Like, first of all, we'll see the positive things first. A simple person can also have presentation under this kind of thing, and he data he can present very easily. But the difficulty or the bad points or the demerits are, it's very dull and monotonous. You cannot compare the data here, observations here. Suppose you want to compare previous year class or performance and this year's class performance, you cannot do that. It becomes very difficult to compare. So that's why what is done in case of, instead of textual presentation, tabular presentation or tabulation is preferred. Okay. Now tabular presentation is what? It's a scientific process. First of all, it is also a process, and it is a scientific process. Tabulation may be defined as logical and systematic arrangement of statistical data in rows and columns. As we know, in any table there are rows and there are columns. So what we have to do, we have to systematically arrange the data in rows and columns with the help of rows and with the help of columns. So many other things are given. I don't think so they are much important. So we'll directly go to the objective of tabulation. Why we have to tabulate? To simplify the complex data. Suppose the paragraph, you are making report in paragraphs and paragraphs, it becomes very difficult to read and understand and have conclusion from that, interpretation from that. So it's very important to simplify it. So the complex data can be simplified with the help of tabulation. Objective of our investigation can be clarified with the help when we are doing preparing the tables. Economies of space means, if you are writing a report through paragraph, it takes more space, and if the same thing we can present in form of table, it requires less space. You can compare, you can depict trend pattern of the data, whether marks are increasing, decreasing, and you can use that for future reference. You can have more statistical analysis, you can calculate mean, median, mode. You can detect errors also, that is not possible in case of paragraphs. Clarify characteristics of data, how the data is, what are the characteristics of data. Okay, that can be also whether it's normal distribution and not normal distribution. All these things will also come further in the next part of the syllabus. Maybe when we are doing test and all, some calculations, problem solving and all, that time it will come. Now, essential parts of statistical table. Table should have a table number for its identification. It should have a title. Title should be brief, self-explanatory, and it should be bold. Okay. The date of the table should be also mentioned so that we come to know when the table is prepared. Row designation. Every row should be given some name. The row is also called as stub. Heading should be there to every row, and column should be there, and subheadings of the columns are called as captions or headings. So there should be column heading and subheadings. Okay. And then comes body of the table, then main data is presented. After that, unit of measurement, whether the information is in kilos, kilograms, then whether it is in rupees and crores or what. Okay, that is unit of measurement. Source notes, from where you got this data, secondary source or primary source, whatever it may be. Footnote, something is there in your table which is not which is for which you need to have more explanation. Means a person cannot understand after reading from the table. For that particular item, specific item, you can prepare a footnote or reference and explain in short or one or two sentence what's the meaning of that particular concept which is there in the table. Okay. So in this way we have seen what is table, different parts of table, title, and these are the columns, these are the rows which are also called as stub. This is the main body. Okay, and this is the source from where you got the data, and footnote some extra information about a particular item in the table. Then difference between textual and tabular presentation. Most of the researchers, most of the people, they prefer tabular presentation. Why? Because it facilitates comparison. It complicated data can be presented using tabulation in a very easy way. Without tabulation, statistical analysis are not possible. It must be diagrammatic presentation. Means you want to prepare a diagram of that, then you should have your data in table form. Okay. So here we come to end to 3.1, your third topic, um, actually the first topic of we can say of stats, but by sequence wise it is third topic. Here we come to end to your 3.1 topic, that is introduction to statistics. In next video I'll be making on diagrammatic presentation of data. There we'll see what are the different kinds of diagrams and how to prepare those diagrams, what are the advantages and disadvantages of those diagrams. Those things will cover in the next video. In this way we have completed here 3.1, that is the introduction of statistics. What we saw in that, what is statistics, from where this word is come, then what is the importance of statistics, what are the technical what are the techniques used. In that we saw collection of data, classification of data, tabulation of data. So these are the basic things that are covered in introduction of statistics, and that also I have covered in my video. uh, Purposefully I'm using the study material of the institute, because what happens, many times some objective type question they just take from the study material. So sometimes if we are I'm preparing a short notes and from that we are doing, then we may not cover that particular objective type question. So students, that's why I'm using study material. You can also sit with the study material at home, and you can refer your study material. You can refer this video, you can watch this video, and then it will be very easy for you to remember. Also you can prepare short notes on this. I'll be also making some short notes unit wise and sharing with you soon. So keep studying. Thank you.